We are now having Jenna Ortega face criticism because she fixed lines within the Wednesday series from the writers because those lines didn't make sense. And well, that was the right call as the series on Netflix has been a ginormous success. But of course, with her improving upon the script, is now being labeled as toxic and entitled by the people that she worked with. All because of her improving upon a script and making it better because the writers couldn't understand the character. And guess what? This same thing happened with Henry Cavill on the Witcher series. A person who respected the character and the universe that he was in, but would ultimately leave because no one listened to him. And with these changes that Jenna Ortega apparently did, she is now considered a terrible person to work with. Wednesday star Jenna Ortega blasted by Hollywood producer entitled and toxic, as we can see the article. Wednesday star Jenna Ortega is being condemned as entitled and beyond toxic by veteran Hollywood producer and filmmaker Steven DeKnight, who has also worked on the Daredevil series as a producer and is also the creator of a few Spartacus series, as well as Netflix's Jupiter's Legacy. Essentially, he blames Jenna Ortega for her age to be at fault because she is young and doesn't understand. Even though there was a love triangle that would have been involved if it wasn't for Ortega stepping in and stopping that because it frankly is stupid and is not needed. DeKnight's blasted on-set antics revealed by Ortega on Dax Shepard's podcast Armchair Expert, including an admission that the 20-year-old behaved in an unprofessional manner on the set of the Netflix show and changed lines that did not make sense. Do you ever wonder and think why she may have changed those lines? Maybe to actually make it better. Because in today's day and age of Hollywood, there are plenty of incompetent writers out there. I mean, just look at The Witcher and The Witcher Blood Origin series. Hell, even Rings of Power. These people need to face criticism because everything they wrote isn't sunshine and rainbows, but mostly has been shit. And it's another key reason why Hollywood is dying. Add along all the identity politics and agendas and messagings, it's a good cause for disaster. Although he partly blamed her age for her actions, he also said she should be aware of how things work. In quotes, she's young, so maybe she doesn't know any better, but she should. He continued in a Twitter thread. In quotes, she should also ask herself how she would feel if the showrunners gave an interview and talked about how difficult she was and refused to perform the material. It's always that people who are young and incompetent, that's always how it is spinned. Sometimes young people are the smartest ones in the room, and they just can't admit that. For sake, she's playing a character that she would know how the character behaves. You can write all you want, but if you aren't portraying the character, you won't understand to an extent the behaviors and the way that character acts as the actor or actress would. And Ortega would respond to the criticism on a podcast, and this was her thoughts on it. On 48-year-old Shepard's podcast last week, the Wednesday star admitted that she put her foot down, verging on being unprofessional for the sake of her Addams Family character, of whom she was very protective. And that is what is needed. Henry Cavill did the same thing, and fans loved him for that, just as fans are appreciating and supporting Ortega for doing the same. In quotes, "I don't think I've ever had to put my foot down more on a set in a way that I had to on Wednesday," she said. "Everything that Wednesday does, everything I had to play did not make sense for her character at all." As we continue on, she said her character taking part in a love triangle had made no sense, and she repeatedly told writers no on plot points, even at times changing lines herself in the script. To me, with all these changes that Ortega has done, seems to me that she wanted to have an end product that made sense and that many would appreciate when watching the show, which is what happened, being a giant success for Netflix and holding the #1 spot on the platform for weeks. That is an accomplishment in and of itself, and Ortega was a part in that. I do wonder what would happen if she didn't make any of these changes and kept it the way it was supposed to be. Would it have been as a success as it was? Maybe, maybe not. But this is something that people should be appreciating, especially the writers as well as producers. When you have an actor that respects their character that much, that should be a sign they have found a gem in a field where you tend to find garbage everywhere. And these higher-ups in Hollywood need to be kept in check and be shown that not all the things that they produce are spectacular. And when you do critique them, the actor or actress is often frowned upon as being hard to work with, and not just looking past it as criticism and improving the product that they're trying to make. And all the more to her because she knew the character that she was playing, and it led to the series being a giant success. And there shouldn't be anything wrong with her doing this. But with anything, there will always be people that feel attacked for their works because of adjustments that are being brought to their attention in order to make it better. And with all that in mind, I'd like you guys' thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.